Now, before we get to the meat of this thing, do you at the present time have any knowledge of the whereabouts of a Mr. Jack Burton or his truck?
God, will you leave him alone?
And I suppose that you expect me to believe in sorcery as well.
Of course.
Why?
Because it's real.
How can I know that, Mr. Shen?
How?
Yes, how? Help me out here. Please, how?
See?
In 1986, John Carpenter released Big Trouble in Little China, a film which completely flopped at the box office, making under $15 million off its $25 million budget. It was overshadowed by James Cameron's Aliens and Top Gun releasing the very same summer. Audiences never really got the chance to experience the film, with it being pulled out of theaters extremely quickly. However, a sort of renaissance for the film has happened. Word of mouth finally made its way around, and the few that had seen it have spread the good word that is John Carpenter, leading to a massive rise in its popularity and me recommending it to anybody that will listen. The movie works on so many levels. It's a love letter to action films, the fantasy genre, 80s horror, and in a way, China. It's unapologetic, cheesy, and over the top, all while being fully aware of itself. Overall, the film is great, and best of all, memorable. The two reasons I'm assigning to its longevity are: 1. It's fun. For anyone who hasn't seen the film, I'll give you a quick sell on the film, non-spoiler. Wang Chi is a restaurant owner in Chinatown. He's finally saved up enough money to fly the girl of his dreams, Miao Ying, over from China to marry him. After she gets kidnapped by the Lords of Death at the airport, Wang and his good friend Jack Burton, who Wang owes a gambling debt to, set off to rescue her. However, they stumble into a world of Chinese black magic where the demon Lo Pan must marry a girl with green eyes to lift his eternal curse. They must venture into Lo Pan's lair and face the hell that awaits them. Will Jack and Wang be able to save Miao Ying, or will Lo Pan finally get the girl with the green eyes? Big Trouble is above all else original, and most importantly, something sadly lacking in films in the modern era: it's fun. The second key element to its success is cinema's very own Jack Burton.
Him? This guy? Follow the leader. 1, 2, 3. We may be trapped.
You will never see an actor immerse himself so wholeheartedly into a role than Kurt Russell in this film. He is having the time of his life, and it's clear to see. I firmly believe this comes from him having the utmost belief in Carpenter, that no matter what Carpenter gives him to do, he knows Carpenter will make it look good in the end. And Jesus Christ, does it look good.
Hot in here, is it just me?
Burton is a seriously interesting case study. His influence is actually quite prominent in characters such as Star-Lord in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Who? Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw.
And Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, Kurt Russell is even his dad, Ego, in the second Guardians of the Galaxy film.
I got a penis. Ha! Thank you. It's not half bad.
As for the similarities with Jack, Jack Sparrow is not supposed to be the main character in the films. It's Will and Elizabeth's story, same as Jack and Wang. Getting into bad situations and being well out of your depth in most fights, all while still finding a way to escape, usually by luck, is a similarity between Jack and Jack. These, and the fact the entire first film is spent chasing Jack's ship, the Black Pearl, or in this case,
Pork Chop Express, and I'm talking to whoever's listening out there. Stop blowing holes in my ship!
his Mad Max type lifestyle is interesting to look at. The hero that rides into a town he isn't from, saves the day, then leaves. The same as Mad Max Fury Road. He doesn't even get the girl and leaves at the end.
God, aren't you even gonna kiss her goodbye?
No.
Kurt Russell just can't help but be charismatic, stealing the spotlight. I really have to say this film is one of his best performances. It's obviously different to his acclaimed roles like in Tombstone, but God, I can't think of many people that could have brought Jack Burton to life the way he did. The range on this man is unreal.
How do you do, ma'am? Henry Swanson's my name, and excitement's my game.
Cash or charge?
Oh, gosh, cash, I guess. I mean, it's not deductible, is it?
What many people don't actually realize watching is that Jack is not meant to be the main character. Kurt Russell is just so good, he steals every scene he's in. But let's take a closer look. Jack is playing catch up the entire film. He can't stop asking questions. In fact, most of his lines are questions.
All right, what's going on, Wang? Tell me what is going on. What alley? What? Who the hell are you, anyway?
來與同埋
What does that mean?
Let the rock tell you in Chinese.
Uh-oh. Chinese?
Ding bong ding dong, he's stone cold aye.
He's quite literally following Wang around for his money. Then he spends the entire film asking questions as he isn't familiar with Chinatown, and
Chinese black magic.
they even stop and deliver subtle exposition dumps.
The Wing Kong Exchange? The most dangerous cutthroat den of madmen in Chinatown. You can't just waltz in and out of there like
the wind.
All movement in the universe is caused by tension between positive and negative furies.
And when the furies are out of balance,
As they are in Lo Pan, who is cursed,
then the people turn into demon and live forever.
repulsive and evil, existing only to plague the living.
Doing here.
Don't panic, it's only me, Gracie Law.
Jack isn't even the best fighter in the film. Wang dominates every fight he's in, even holding his own with one of the three storms. Jack even gets knocked out, missing the big fight at the end. Jack gambles, chases after women relentlessly, and never stays in the same place for too long, all while dishing out some brilliant lines that the modern media would not be able to handle today.
I go with you, but
I know, there's a problem with your face.
Whereas Wang on paper is the obvious hero, madly in love and devoted to Miao Ying, in other words, literally the most used hero trope of all time, Wang is clearly a skilled fighter and proves it time and time again throughout the film. Wang is calm and always taking things seriously and stays level-headed, and he knows everything about the world they're immersed in. He's fully aware of Lo Pan and
Chinese black magic.
and particularly the three storms. He fully understands the seriousness of the situation, whereas Jack doesn't know and really doesn't care. Jack's in it for the thrill. Jack really also only shows one skill throughout the film, and it's one of the best setup and payoffs in cinema.
It's all in the reflexes.
It's a good knife. Goodbye, Miss Burton.
It's all in the reflexes.
Jack on paper is the comic relief, but Kurt Russell can't help but dominate the screen, and Carpenter definitely saw it in the editing room, with nearly the entire runtime being of Jack doing Jack Burton things. I want to give a really quick thank you to The Critical Drinker. Recently, he watched my Gladiator 2 video and thought it was good enough to mention it on his Twitter. I've received a lot of comments and a lot of likes, and I really appreciate all of this. I'm one of the Critical Drinker fan base. For the last 2 or 3 years, I've religiously watched every single video and open bar that he's put out. I think he's probably the best to ever do it, so to have him see the video and like it enough to mention it to his fan base means quite a lot to me. It's extremely encouraging and will help me keep going. So I thank the drinker, and I thank everyone from his fan base from seeing the video, clicking on it, and giving it the time of day.
Thank you!
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to keep doing my best and hopefully one day end up on the open bar. Thank you all. Thanks for watching, and as Jack Burton always says,
Like I told my last wife, I says, honey, I never drive faster than I can see. Besides that, it's all in the reflexes. Just listen to the old Pork Chop Express and take his advice on a dark and stormy night, all right? When some wild-eyed 8-foot-tall maniac grabs your neck, taps the back of your favorite head up against a barroom wall, and he looks you crooked in the eye, and he asks you if you've paid your dues, well, you just stare that big sucker right back in the eye, and you remember what old Jack Burton always says at a time like that. Have you paid your dues, Jack? Yes, sir, the check is in the mail.